Life is short. Buy the shoes. This is the way of the dork. Welcome, everybody, to episode 72 of the Four Dorksmen podcast. I'm Nate, a.k.a. Angry Nate.
I'm the treat.
I'm Collector Clint.
I'm Asian Tony Stark.
And we are very much live today on Twitch, and we have some very special guests joining us for this episode, so let them introduce themselves.
I will start, yeah. I'm Ashley, and that's me.
You're Ashley back at work now, right? Can we start calling you that?
I'm done with the from work thing. So
okay.
New chapter.
I like it.
And I'm Cameron, also I guess known as Jean-Claude Van Cam.
There it is.
Or Cooper Manning's #1 fan.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice. There you go. That's already we got a call back, and it's not even we haven't even been like 10 minutes in. So thank you guys very much for joining us today. As you probably seen on Twitter, we've been spamming it all week. Today we were joined by these two awesome guests because we want to talk sneakers. So before we get too far into it, really quickly, make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at @the_dorksman. You can always email us at dorksman@gmail.com. We have that wonderful robot automated email response for out of office. So if you send us an email, you'll get an email back. So make sure you do that.
10 pages long.
It is quite. Hey,
don't print it. Whatever you do, you'll run out of ink.
You'll kill a tree by printing Joey. Be real sad.
Joey's
don't kill my family.
Yeah, so just make sure you're following us on social. And we've got lots going on during the week, which we'll get into a little bit later. But yeah, if you want to play along with bingo, you can do a live bingo card today if you're watching on Twitch. That's dorkspinbingo.com, and Clint will absolutely ring that bell every time we hit a bingo square. So there he goes. There's the bell. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's go into the Ask the Dorksman. We have one question this week, very topical, absolutely related to our topic today, from our good friend Kelly, AOK20 on Twitter. Her question is, do you have a post-shoe wearing ritual, like cleaning, or do you put them back in the box, or like anything like that? So, yeah.
So am I still going first, or are we going to let our guests go first?
You guys can fight for it.
No, fight. I'm not fighting Ashley. No.
Fight.
I'm not fighting anyone. I don't have any fight left in me. I don't.
Well, we'll go ahead and stick with tradition, and I guess I'll go first. It kind of depends on the shoes, like my nicer shoes that I have, my Jordans and stuff. Like I had been keeping them like in the box with the tissue paper and the shoe savers and everything in them. And then I read somewhere that actually the paper was not good to keep on them because of the chemical that's in the paper can be released on the shoes, and it can, age them or turn them yellow or whatever. So I took all the tissue out of the shoe boxes, but I still just keep them in their boxes with their shoe savers. I take the laces and tuck them back into the shoe, and I make sure, there's no spots on the shoe except on the bottom. I mean, the bottom's going to get messed up, whatever. But then I got some beaters that I just wear around that I don't put in the shoe box. I just throw them on top of the closet on top of the other shoes. But that's about it. Luckily, I don't wear them often enough to have to worry about getting them too dirty. So I haven't had to come with a cleaning ritual just yet. I did spit clean a pair of white shoes the other day. I'm not ashamed to admit, because I didn't have anything else available. I was like, all right, here we go.
Can we call those your COVID kicks or what?
An extra layer of security to keep people away from you. Be like, I spat on my shoes today. You want to
see how clean they are?
Yeah.
You don't want them.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. I'll quickly go next. This is going to be a weird episode for me because you're not going to hear much from me because I don't have a whole lot to input. I take off my shoes and put them away, and that's the end of the story. There's no cleaning for me because I don't buy nice shoes because I can't handle nice things, I guess. So I do not have any kind of ritual besides taking them off when I come
just
home.
Takes off his Skechers and puts them back at the bottom.
My Airwalks are just on the ground
Yes.
with Ava's whatever she's wearing, and we're just done.
Hey,
Carolyn picks them up.
for you. Yeah.
There you go. So that's
Clint,
my answer.
You're not allowed to have nice things. What are all these things behind you that we see?
Yeah, what are things
Yeah, I
behind
was
you?
gonna say.
These
That's
are,
a good question.
these are okay. They're not the nicest, you know. There's a reason I don't have anything expensive.
Do you clean your tiny ghosts? Do you have a tiny ghost cleaning ritual?
Well, they're tiny ghosts. You try cleaning, your hand goes right through them. It doesn't work, you know.
Spit shines as tiny ghosts. Is that what he does?
That's right. They're
Wow.
all COVID related. Watch out.
Eek.
Why don't you go, Ryan?
I used to have a ritual when I actually wore sneakers back in the day, but now, like, I don't even wear shoes for the most part. Like, we call them slippers out here in Hawaii, but everybody else calls them like thongs or flip flops. That's pretty much the extent of my footwear. But when I was going to the office, it was always just dress shoes. That's pretty much all I wear in a business setting now. So those I would, yes, keep clean because I want to make sure I take care of them for a while. A couple of them were kind of pricey, but I'd rather buy the good stuff and wear it for 10 years for dress shoes. But yeah.
So what you're saying is, if we come visit you in Hawaii, we may get to see you in a thong. Is that what you're saying?
Wow.
Wow.
Is that a promise?
Moving on. You may answer the question now.
For me, I actually just found a shoe cleaning kit that I bought, I think, like, honestly, probably like 10 years ago now, and it was still like hasn't been used. Like, it's just like all brand new in the box. So that kind of tells you just how well I take care of my shoes. But yeah, like, I do generally just have one pair that I wear kind of everywhere, and then the other ones that I do wear on occasion, I'll wear them. I'll put them back in the box. But now that I know not to put the paper on them, as Joey just taught me, I won't do that. But yeah, they usually just go back in the box, mostly because of space. Like, our basement doesn't, like, I don't have a ton of space in the basement, so it's just easier to stack them back up in the box and put them away. But generally, I have one pair that I'm wearing right now, and then, like, that's like kind of a nicer pair, and then the rest are just beaters, and then the other ones I've got like pairs and pairs that are just still in the box that I haven't touched. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Yeah, how about you, Cam?
I don't really have like a ritual after I take my shoes off. Like you guys have said, if for organizational purposes, it's easier to put them back in a box. I do that. If they don't have a box, I just kind of have an area for them. But I definitely feel like there's something to be said for the like pre-wear ritual of like relacing them, or like maybe even switching the laces out, or like a lot of times they come factory laced way too tight. So there's like a way to like actually like let your feet breathe. But other than that, I don't like, I don't lick the soles. Like, I know a lot of like, Instagram influencers or, Fat Joe or whoever does, but, because I just don't trust them. But also I think it's kind of a weird thing to do. But mostly, it's mostly just lace related, I guess.
That's cool. How about you, Ashley?
I'm pretty similar to what everyone said. My friend Jesse actually recommended like some plastic shoe trees that you can put in your sneakers. So I have a few of those, but I'm slowly buying them to put in all of them. But like all my Jordans and stuff are in the box. So I'll put those back. Like my workout shoes, I just have in like a plastic tub because I don't really care if those get as scuffed up or whatever. But I don't clean them that often either because usually I rotate them enough they don't get dirty.
Right.
Except for last weekend when I stepped in dog shit. So
Oh no!
What pair?
No.
What pair?
it was Game Royal ones, and I was pissed. It was like mid sidewalk, and usually I like walk looking down, and I don't know how I missed it, but
Wow, the one time.
Yeah, so I had to clean those up. But
you're outside for like 5 minutes a week.
Yeah, it was the one time I've left in like 40 days. So
It is the year, though, right? Like, this is the year. It was gonna happen. It was gonna be like this month in this year. Like,
it wasn't too bad, but it's still just
Yeah. Well, that's painful.
That sucks.
Yeah. But Kelly, thank you for the question. We're curious about you. If you have any rituals about your shoes, I'm sure Clint's looking on Twitter to get you to respond right away.
Already done.
We'd appreciate it.
I actually can read her response because she's here in the chat. So shout out to Kelly.
Oh, she?
Yeah, she just responded. Wow. She said, I have shoe cleaner mint in the package. No ritual for me. By the time I get home, I'm so exhausted the shoes end up wherever. No ritual.
I feel that. I believe that. So yeah, if you guys are not sure what we're talking about today, it's all about shoes. All about shoes that we buy that we don't wear, shoes that we love to wear, shoes that we missed out on over the years. So let's kick it off with kick it. I'm curious about everyone's kind of origin story of shoes and what got you into shoes. Maybe not collecting, but like what kind of like we have an interest in shoes, except Clint, other than wearing them on his feet.
The actual necessity to wear shoes on
Yeah,
my feet.
besides
Why?
the actual necessity of
the
wearing
origin.
shoes. Yeah. What is the like what got you into shoes and what kind of got you into collecting or buying these specialty shoes? We'll call them that.
Do we want to go same rotation again just to keep it in order?
Yeah, we'll keep it in order.
Okay.
Sure.
So I was a huge Jordan and Bulls fan growing up. I was born in '80, so I mean, kind of the peak of when I started getting to junior high was kind of the peak of his playing days, and of course the '90s were the decade of the Bulls, and so there was two pairs growing up that I always wanted, but were never able to get, just too pricey, and that was the infrared sixes that came out. And then the Concord 11s. Those came out my sophomore year of playing basketball. Like, we actually had kids that were like wearing Jordans as they were intended, like as basketball shoes. Like that's what they wore to basketball practice and stuff. So I've always kind of had, a desire to collect shoes, but just never actually had the financial ability to until, I don't know, I'd probably say the last 6 months or so. And then just things kind of exploded and got out of hand. And, I started trying to buy up whatever, styles I could get that I liked when I was growing up, and, whatever colorways I could get a hand on that weren't like ridiculously, priced, and, tried to get just about everything from retail. And even the stuff that I've gotten off of StockX, I didn't pay more than what it originally came out for in retail. And now I'm up to too many shoes, according to my wife. So that's where I'm at right now.
Cool. Wow.
Clint?
I've said mine.
Necessity
I needed to wear shoes, so I bought some.
Yeah.
No shirt, no shoes, no shocks. Yeah, all that jazz. But,
Clint, have you ever been interested in it, or like, is there any inkling of that, or are you just kind of like, there are too many other things to collect?
I think it's more, there's been too many other things. I know when you were younger, I always wanted something, because I saw it on TV or something like that. I do remember I had a pair of Converse back in the day, not the Chuck Taylors, but they had the yellow, I can't even remember what was in them. And I was so happy to have them. I actually used to play basketball. And it went well, I guess, but just never had an interest. I just wear them and wear them out and move on. Now, I could talk more about my shoe purchase list later, but yeah, my collection's bad. I think I have a pair of rainbow flip-flops, and that's the most expensive shoe I have. So
Dang.
Do you have Crocs?
I do have Crocs, but that's
Crocs are comfortable,
no.
man. They're comfortable.
from Colorado, and I had an ex-girlfriend who worked for Crocs, so I have like soccer sandals, and yeah, I have a number of pairs, but
Amazing.
we don't say that out loud anymore. But anyway, what's your answer?
I got into collecting shoes early on in like the early 2000s as a result of me being a DJ, working in the music business. And I'll take this opportunity for show and tell real quick. Let me actually focus on my camera for a quick sec so I can show everybody here. So many of you guys are familiar with DJ Premier. These are DJ Premier Air Force Ones.
Wow.
Dead
Nice.
stocked.
Nice.
Thankfully, they're still in good condition. I was showing Joey
look
my
great,
Jam
man.
Master J Air Ultra
How
Stars.
old are those?
At least 8 years old. I don't
That's
even
not
know. I can probably find the receipt somewhere.
Some shoes
Right,
age
probably-
way better than others.
These
Really
actually
good.
age
So
very
true.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying
Yeah, those
about
look
my Ultra
good.
Stars.
They're not like cracked or anything.
No,
Sometimes they do that. But
They're pristine, and look at the ice sole on these with the turntable.
yeah,
on the
that's
bottom.
cool.
These
Doesn't
are
look too. Did they start out clear, like on the sole?
they might have been clearer than this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oxidation over
These-
time may have been cruel to
Yeah.
it.
They still don't look bad.
Yeah,
Like,
they look-
No, they don't.
almost
They
Do
looks
you
look
ever
pretty
like
plan on
Look
wearing
good.
them?
No. These were strictly made to collect and just pay homage to DJ Premier. And speaking of DJing,
Mhm.
these are the DJ AM Dunks.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
These are also dead stocked, obviously never been worn. I will always
gosh.
cherish
Those
these
look good.
because he was a huge inspiration to a lot of us. So
These are cool. They're in great shape because Dunks, I think, oxidize faster for some
Yes.
reason. At least in my
Totally
experience,
agree.
they always have.
Who did we
I
lose?
have no idea, you guys. I have no idea that
Oh,
happened.
we lost Joey. There he is.
We lost Joey. Joey's back. Okay.
There he is.
Oh, he's out of order. Oh, he
Yeah, I
screwed
don't know what
up, screwed up the camera order.
No,
Let's start over.
Yeah.
Time
Yeah.
to
I'm
start
pretty sure Ryan can quickly crack it, but anyway.
But yeah,
And that's the end
mine.
of the episode.
So that's how I got into it. It was mostly because of the hip hop game. You know, a lot of people. You guys remember Nelly Air Force Ones that came out around that era where everybody was really
Yeah.
getting into it. And as Cam was saying about Fat Joe licking the bottom of his all whites, which if you guys saw MTV Cribs, he actually did that. Gross.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And on that
It's
note,
terrible.
I will kick it over to the next person. I don't know who's gonna go first. You are Cam, Ashley, but have at it, guys.
Well, Nate hasn't gone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
we're forgetting Nate.
Ryan,
I'll make him
sorry.
angry.
Gotta get that.
It's okay. So yeah, like same with Joey. Like growing up, I mean, I always just loved shoes, and they were always just. It was more necessity growing up than being able to kind of splurge on any shoe purchases and cool things like that. So even after the gigantic Funko collection and like other collectibles, like never really got into shoes until honestly just last year. So my wife bought me 2 pairs of Jordans for Christmas last year. I got the Jordan 4, the What Does, and then the Jordan 1 Bloodlines. So those 2 were like kind of the start of my Jordan collection, I would say. And those are still in the box. I have not worn them. Like it's literally been a year, like because it's Christmas in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And, like I literally haven't. I took them out of the box last Christmas to take a picture after I got them, and then they've been in the box ever since because we've been home pretty much ever since.
Yeah.
And I'm terrible with like keeping like white shoes clean, so that's why I'm just like I will wear these maybe in the summer at some point when I can go outside when it's not wet and rainy in Vancouver. But yeah, so I've just been really kind of a newer into it, but I'm enjoying it because it's fun and there's just so much. There's like just a little bit of everything. There's something for everybody, I think, like with shoes. It's not necessarily just Jordans or just Nikes. Like there's just so many other brands and so many other types of shoes and styles of shoes that there's got to be something for everybody. So, how about you, Cam?
So I really started kind of young in elementary school, middle school. I was growing up just outside of Philadelphia, and Allen Iverson was like the big deal. So a lot of kids in my school were wearing the Reebok answers.
Ooh.
I never had a pair myself, but when we moved to Seattle, I remember going to Nike Town with my dad, and the first like pair of sneakers I got were white mid Air Force Ones with a gray swoosh. And I remember being like blown away that I would even have them because, like you were saying earlier, that was like the era of Nelly Air Force One, being like this like goobery white kid, just like, oh, I could wear these too. I could wear them.
Goobery white kid. Write that down.
But
That might be the episode title.
but from there, it was like were Air Force Ones and Air Force Twos throughout like middle school, high school, and then I started to work a job after school as a barista in high school, and started to go to consignment shops and started to go to stores on Capitol Hill in Seattle called like Goods, which is no longer with us, and Winter Circle, which were like these boutique-y kind of stores, which by the time of like 2006, 2007, I think sneakers like Nike SBs were starting to come out, and there was like this new push for a new type of consumer that wasn't totally about performance. And then, over the past 10, 15 years, it's really been kind of these phases of like what fits my life the best. And it's kind of been like, when I was in college, it was a lot of like Nike ACG, things you could wear outside in the dirt and not really care about them. And then, fast forward to like the last few years and working alongside Ashley, who I would say has encouraged my sneaker collecting as much as anyone else. I think my collection has certainly filled out quite a bit. But like you were saying, Nate, there's such a variety. There's so much for everyone that even if you're not really into whatever hyped Nike release is coming out, like Puma will quietly release like a Nintendo Entertainment System shoe, or like there's literally there is something for everyone, and if you miss out, there's going to be something for you in a week. Like
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because I shared that with Clint earlier. I'm like, look, Clint, this is your chance to get into the sneaker game. Look, they've got Mario, they got Nintendo, Pumas you can get. He wasn't interested.
It wasn't. Oh, no, wait. It wasn't that I wasn't interested. It's that, well, they were neat. Thank you for sharing.
They were neat.
They were cool. Right, Clint? Cool. How about you, Ashley?
I've always liked shoes. Even as like a little kid, I liked shoes. Like I remember I was probably 3 or 4, and my mom and I were in Target, and I bothered her for these 101 Dalmatian like cheap plastic Velcro shoes, and
Nice.
I slept in them that night. So it's always just been something I've been drawn to, and I played sports a lot growing up. So my first probably really cool shoe was the Penny Hardaway shoe when those came out for basketball.
Nice. Yeah.
So those were. It's just always been. I don't really know any different. It's always been around. So, and then I worked for Vans for a decade, so it's just been engulfed in me.
Well, that's awesome.
Y'all mentioned the Reeboks. That was my first like real pair of like brand name shoes. Were the Reebok Shacknosis shoes?
Oh,
I actually had a pair of those back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the Shack, the pumps, the Shack. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I wanted those, and yeah.
It had like it came with like a little CO2 cartridge thing to pump your shoe. It was the most unnecessary, insane thing.
It was
ever.
such a gimmick.
Yeah, but it was like as a kid, I was like, man, I'm playing so much basketball in these, and I did, and it didn't make me better, but you know, it was just. I'm pretty sure
it looked good.
Yeah, but it looked damn good trying. Yeah,
That's right.
All that matters.
Yeah.
I love
I think
a specific Nike tech or sneaker tech like that, or it's just like this was what were they thinking? Like Nike Shocks, like it's like put a little springboard on your ankle.
Still rocks those.
Does he?
Yes.
Wow. Good for him.
Hey, yeah, whatever.
I think it's one of those things with like, same with like collectibles. It's like the toys you had as a kid that you look back now and you're like, damn it, I wish I hung on to those. Like there's so many things I wish I just like, even if they were just torn up and worn to bits, like I still wish I could just hold a pair of those shoes that I used to have I think the Dikembe Mutombos, like those were crazy colors. I used to have a pair of those, and it's just like when I think back, I'm like, I wish I still had them just to say like that I wore these. So is there anything like that from your over the years that you guys wish that you kind of hung on to that you don't have anymore?
I have a bunch that disintegrated because of the local weather here. I had a pair of all charcoal gray suede 95s.
Nice.
I don't know anybody else that had a pair of them. And because of the local weather and the humidity, or I don't know, maybe lack thereof in some cases, but the bottom of the shoe just disintegrated. And so I picked it out of the box one day, and the bubble just basically fell into the floor, and I was all heartbroken.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So are they called 95s because they came out in 95?
Dude, Clint, are you secretly a sneaker collector?
I am not. No, I swear to God, I'm not. That's why I'm curious why they're called 95.
No, that you're talking about Air Max 95s, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yep, you're spot on.
Yeah, you did it.
Here, Clint, you probably, with your clown shoes, you can probably rock these.
My clown shoes.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
I have rust stains on these on the mesh.
Here, you know
So
what?
sad.
Here, let me show you. Let me show you the shoes I'm wearing right now.
What are you wearing right now?
Shoe off.
Oh yeah, what?
I'm wearing slippers. I am wearing
Oh,
my Tom's slippers right now.
slippers over
See?
here. We're cozy
And
over
probably,
here.
and these are probably as much as the shoes I normally buy. They're like $40, and I got them like half off. So
There you go.
I'm not kidding when I say I don't know anything about shoes.
They go on your feet. That's all you need to know, right, Clint? It's just they go on
So
your
is it show and tell time? Is it show and tell time now that Ryan's...
I want to.
So,
teach me to learn this to appreciate.
Ryan, you want to put it on me or what?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll go ahead and start. So I was talking about spit shining some earlier. This is
Those are
the
the
pair
COVID kicks.
Those are the
that
ones.
I was
The COVID
that was
kicks.
spit shining.
Kicks.
These are the Jordan 3. These are the denim, fire red denim ones. And so you can't even tell where I had to spit shine them at. But
you missed the bottom, though. We did notice that. Yeah,
I did get the bottom dirty just to show you that I did wear them once. I wore them once. I'm like super nervous about wearing them. I got another couple of pairs to show. I'm super nervous about wearing them up to school. Like, and the kids always notice when I have my good shoes on. They're like, "Hey, I like your shoes today." I'm like, "You better not step on them. You know the deal."
Automatic fail in the class if they sip on your
send
kicks.
you to detention.
Exactly. And then these just came in, so I was going to unbox them.
Is everything? Do you just have strictly Jordans?
No, I've got several pairs of Ultra Boosts. I've got a pair of Pumas. I've got a pair of I know I saw Cam talk about these earlier, maybe in the month, I don't remember, but the New Balance 327. I've got one pair of those, which are yes they are. But these just came in to match the Fire Red 3s. I got the Fire Red 4s.
Oh, nice.
So throwback to the ones, these are ones that Jordan actually wore, like this same colorway and model. So I was super excited.
Those
to be
haven't
able to
been
get
released
these.
since the 80s, too.
Yep, they haven't been retroed since then. So it was pretty cool to get a hold of them. And I like that they made those pretty widely available on release. It was pretty easy for people to get them. And then these are the ones, I've got one pair of highs, but most of mine are mids just because A, they're easier to get, and B, they're a lot cheaper. So the bread colorway is a pretty popular colorway. And then I got the mid breads. I got early access on Nike, the only thing I've gotten early access for.
Congratulations.
Yes. And somebody,
That's rare.
people were talking about, well, they're early access on mids. And I'm like, I don't care. It's still a pair of breads, even if it's just mids and not the high version. So I love those as well. And the leather quality on the bread ones seem a little bit different, because that's kind of one of the complaints, is that the mid leather quality is not as good as the highs. And for the most part, it's not. But these seem a little bit better than those. But the only ones I have are the Bloodlines, like Nate's got. I didn't bring those in here with me. But those are like really soft and really comfortable to wear.
I wouldn't know. I haven't worn mine.
Yeah, I know.
How do you display them then? Are they left in the box, or do you just not display them at all?
You're talking about me?
No, they're there.
Yeah,
I'm going to share a picture in the Skype chat, and then if Ryan wants to throw that up there, he can on my little Jordan display that I have.
So you actually do you have like a case, or what do you display these in? I'm sorry, this doesn't mean to sound like I'm a smartass. I'm genuinely curious.
No. I'll share it so that way you can see what they look like.
Because as you can see, I like to have my stuff out and about. So
if I just sent it to Ryan, if you want to throw that up there, so people can kind of see what I was talking about.
Yep, on it.
Sorry. Anyway, I know we're going to be an audio as well, so maybe Joey, are you done with your show and tell, or you got more?
No, that's the
Okay. I mean, you got plenty.
But it's the only ones I brought to show.
No, understood. Does anybody else have anything they want to show?
Well, I brought like my top 3 sneaker releases of the year.
Yes.
I think Cam probably did too, but I can start with that.
Oh, that's smart.
So these are my favorite releases of the year, which I had to buy off StockX, which sucked. But there are women's one with the satin. Anything red, black, and white, I usually will buy somehow, some way. But and I put white laces in them, which you don't see as much, but I think they look a little better. But I also came, I think, with black as well. But
they came with black. Got it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go on.
This is probably my favorite shoe of the year so far. And then I did get somehow, which I've never won a draw, I did win the Union 4s.
Oh, nice.
God, I still can't believe that's so good.
Which I've never won a draw. I did have early access to the off-white ones like moons ago, but I haven't worn these yet. But I think I was kind of debating on if I should sell them or keep them, but I think I'm going to keep them and wear them. My favorite part of these is the tongue kind of unfolds. I don't know if I want to undo all of this, but
I think it's stitched, isn't it?
Yeah, it's stitched. So I just like the yellow sole's kind of cool too. Like you really don't have to worry about them yellowing or anything.
Right.
The Union ones are awesome, and I prefer those over these. But this was a pretty good find. Oh, the
So
smell of a new shoe.
I took an
Yeah.
L on those Union 4s, and Joey actually won a pair, and he offered them to me, and I just couldn't justify it because of just the COVID cost and like just everything this year. But
Yeah.
now I'm wishing I took him up on those because they're
I like
really
the black
nice.
better than the guava.
Yeah.
A lot of people like the guava, but
Yeah,
and then I
what
just
did you
got
do with the
these
Those are
the
Ooh,
Blazer
blazers.
Christmas
Ooh, nice.
edition.
Oh, the Christmas
so
one.
these,
Nice.
yeah, so these dropped like randomly in grade school sizes on Nike probably 2 weeks ago, and I was able just to get them before they locked them, and now they're on the app to release on the 7th. So if you like them, good luck getting a couple of days.
Wow.
Nice.
But yeah,
There's
those are
an Air
probably
Max
my.
1 also, right?
Yeah, there's a 90 and a
90, that's right.
Air Force One
Yes.
mid. I
Yeah.
want to say that's coming
Mhm.
too, but
Yeah, I saw them. They're very Christmassy.
yeah.
Festive.
Just a
They're
little.
festive.
Festive,
I love high
festive.
tops, so like any blazer or one, I'm usually probably interested in. So
Yeah, I keep trying to convince myself to get some blazers, and all I keep hearing is they're like super difficult to get on your
they
foot, and I'm
suck
like,
to get on.
I already have problems putting on the Jordan 1s. I don't know if I could fit.
You
some
almost have to
blazers.
like completely unlace them and completely relace them every time you wear
You
them.
have to
So
lace
if you're
yourself into them.
Yeah.
yes, you do. So if you're in a hurry, like you got to plan it out when you wear those.
Carve out a half-hour window before you have to leave. To
Basically,
get the
it's kind of rough, but.
All right,
do you
Cam,
guys
what about
do it?
your top 3?
All right, so one of the big things with sneaker collecting this year is I feel like there are so many releases, but it's so hard to actually get the ones that you want. It's
So
very
hard.
rare. So lately, I've kind of shifted more towards ones that I know I'm going to wear and ones that like I might even be able to get on a deal. Because that's the thing that I think people forget is that like not every hyped release is going to sell out, and oftentimes a lot of really great and reliable sneakers will just be on sale forever. Like there's always Nike.com sales, and then also a lot of different stores across the country and world have sales all the time. So just keeping an eye out. I follow sneaker Twitter. I'm sure you guys do too, and they post constantly about things that are releasing or something that's on sale, and that's where I saw like you can get 50% off the entire Reebok site right now with a code, and like so all that said, one of my favorite releases this year is actually an Adidas Stan Smith.
Nice.
Oh,
And
nice.
What's cool about these is like the silhouette itself is like a flagship model. They always have it in this colorway. You can always get it for like $80. But there's these little ghost characters on them called Shmoo, which are by I think he's like a pro skater and artist, Mark Gonzalez, the Gons.
But he's done a bunch of collabs with Adidas for a long time.
Yeah, and like what I like about it is like it's a pretty different take on a shoe you see all the time. And I wore them all summer. Basically, I kind of destroyed them, but I got them for like $20 off maybe a couple weeks after they released. And like I guess my point is like sneaker collecting doesn't have to be expensive, but it certainly can be. So I wanted to include these also because they're what I was wearing when my daughter was born. So these are like
nice.
These are always going to be part of the collection. And then I also wanted to include just to mix it up a little bit, an Air Jordan. So I have an Air Jordan 1. That's
oh, you haven't worn those yet?
I haven't worn them yet. There's no. I've been outside for like 10 minutes.
Sometimes I just put them on and sit.
You gotta flex for your family.
Yeah.
Just wear them around the house.
Flex for the family.
Show that off to my baby.
Yeah.
But what I like about these is they're made out of recycled materials, and I actually think that they do a nice job in not making it too like clinical with that. Like it's still a pretty fun design. You have kind of the unfinished heel and tongue, which you don't really see on, or at least I don't really feel like is a Jordan 1 kind of feature you normally see.
Right.
And there's this whole program Nike has this year called the Space Hippie program, which I still haven't bought into any of the models yet, but I love the concept of looking at ways to be more sustainable and be more responsible, I guess, with how sneakers are made. So I was actually able to get these through the sneakers app, which I think half of that is just getting the ability to do it makes you buy stuff. So that
Yes.
was partially like, oh, I'll try. I kind of like them. Oh, look at that! I bought them. Did I?
It's like a game now.
It is.
It's like a Russian roulette. Like,
Yeah.
But you win when you win. You pay $120 or whatever.
Yeah, right.
You won the right to give us money. Congratulations.
Yeah, they gamified shopping. It's nuts. And then I'm a big Nike Air Max fan, and so this year the Nike Air Max 90 had this resurgence that I think is super kind of unappreciated. That Nike actually went back to some of their early samples of the original and found ways to reconstruct the exact same shape, same color, same material. So there's that consistency for those like Air Max purists. I don't really think I'd be able to tell if it's like one type of leather versus another or whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm going to wear them, but these look pretty great in person. And there were a number of colorways that came out for this model. And just like, typically I'm an Air Max 97 guy, but 90s had a great year and nobody's talking about it because they're not SVs,
Right.
So I just wanted to give this model some love, even though it's probably one that if you've been collecting sneakers, you've seen a billion times.
I like the Air Max 3 that they're coming out with in a couple weeks that has the unfinished heel and stuff that's similar looking to that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that on the app?
Yeah, I think
That looks pretty cool, yeah.
I didn't realize that they had originally called this the Air Max 3 and then
I didn't
later
either.
changed it to Air Max 90 because I got the receipt and I was like, I did not buy an Air Max 3, but I very much did. I had no idea. So
it's
I'm
funny.
just learning.
It's funny you mentioned that because every time I see a link come up from Sneaker Twitter or SoulFed or something like that, and it keeps coming up for that Air Max, that same model that you have in that same colorway, and I'm like, I think I might want to get it, and it keeps saying 3, and then when I click on it, like the store, like Foot Locker or whatever, will call it the Air Max 90. I'm like, well, which one is it? And so I hadn't heard that it was originally called the 3, and so that's pretty cool to know.
It's both. It's both.
It's a 93, 39.
Hey, Cameron, where are the Susans? I was hoping you would show those. I actually really like those.
I'll grab them.
I don't know if that's even what they're called, but they're based off of Susan from The Great Unknown or whatever that claymation movie was. And I mean, I think people think they might.
So they're so basically the story is like Nike's former president, is on the board of Leica. Leica somehow has some Nike relationship. So every time there's a Leica Studios release, there's a shoe that corresponds. And so for the missing link, they made a pair of Air Maxes that I like.
You've worn those, haven't you?
I've worn them, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you wore those.
And so they like mimic the character design. But what's great is it's like quality materials. The thing that's not great is I think I had to get these off StockX. It's not always super.
Those are not always great.
But I got them kind of early enough that, and it's one of those like niche products that like I don't think the kids that line up for Supreme are necessarily looking for Leica Studios sneakers. So kind of look for the wins where you can. But they're kind of crazy. Like there's a cork insole and there's
I like how
different colors
isn't like leather wrap too around the sole, the brown.
Yeah, it's leather on the sole, which
is cool.
And I mean, just so many details, which I think obviously goes back to Leica Studios being so detail oriented. But I mean, Clint, to your point, like if there's a shoe for the missing link, there's a shoe for anything, and if there's not, Nike and Vans and I think Adidas will let you customize a shoe to be anything you want. So like, if your favorite character doesn't have a shoe, you can actually make one and even, have it typed on the heel, but this is that character. Then you have a one of one shoe that like you could put on display with your pops or whatever, so it's very collector friendly now.
It's super duper.
You almost have to like ID Air Max 1s now because they're so hard to find. Like, and they're only, I think, $10 or $20 more than usually a release. So I don't know. The ID isn't bad.
And then depending on the release, sometimes it's cheaper. Like
Yeah.
I was playing around with customizing a pair of Air Max 1s because I've been wanting to get a pair and I can't find a colorway that I like. And one of the ones that was maybe set to drop, maybe it was the sage green colorway.
Yeah,
I
you
can't
can
remember.
almost make those. Yeah.
It was $10 more than doing the Nike by You version. I was like, okay, well, I think I'm just gonna make it myself.
Yeah.
But to Cam's point about like getting shoes and stuff that are collectible to go with your collectibles, I just want to show something off that I picked up this year. It was the Vans and Simpsons.
That was a good collab.
Nice.
So,
Appropriate.
Yeah.
I was mad they didn't make Authentics like mainline. It was only custom.
Right. And it's just I'll never wear these because I'm not like they're not great for my foot type and stuff, but
I would wear them because
Like-
Vans don't last long
yeah.
Oh, wow.
in box.
Oh really?
Those are
Okay.
really cool.
Yeah.
No, they oxidize weird, so I would wear them.
Oh, okay. All right.
Or
Well,
just
I'm
white.
gonna leave these out right now then. But yeah, so these are the ones that when they came out, there was a few. I think there's like a Mr. Plow as well,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
awesome. So they, these are definitely ones that I'll put in my collection. I'll probably wear them a little bit, walk around the house with them because we can't go outside right now. But in terms of Jordan releases this year, I didn't bring up a pair. I have the Hulk ones, which I love because I have Banner and he's named after the Hulk, and that's just how it goes. But my other pair that I really loved, really enjoyed getting this year was just the Oregon 5s. So it's nice and very green. It's a re-release of the old colorway. These ones I'll probably end up wearing at some point, just because I think 5s are really comfortable, and it's a different color for me because I normally wear like dark shoes, like dark colored shoes, because I'm terrible at keeping things clean. So
Amen.
Do you
keep
keep
these
the little
white shoes.
do you keep the little clasp on the laces, or do you take that off?
I'm gonna try with them on. I'm gonna see how.
I never know how to wear those because
Yeah.
by the time you're done lacing them, you have like this much lace left,
Yeah.
and then you're like, is that supposed to go through that? I don't know.
Right.
Like
Right.
it looks
Yeah.
funky without it. I don't know. But
Another game within the game of
Yeah.
shoes. How do you lace your shoes?
yeah, that's
Yeah, so I mean, with wearing shoes and like things like that, I just thought of a really kind of funny story about last San Diego Comic-Con for myself, which I'll share. But I'm just curious about for any shoe stories about just wearing them. But yeah, just like what's your favorite story about wearing a pair of shoes that you really enjoyed? Like, do you have like a memory that's attached? Like Cam, you're sharing about your Stan Smith, were you wearing them when your daughter was born? Like, is there anything else like that that you guys have that kind of really define a really fun and memorable experience with your shoes that you've worn them for?
It's a good question.
I mean, I've kept all of my all the shoes that I've worn for fun days. Like I have I have like a Shark Week Vans for and what else do I have? Another pair, I believe, that are like just bright blue from it must have been a couple of years back. Like I keep that kind of stuff even if I don't know I'm going to wear them all the time, because they feel like game worn almost, if that makes sense. Like this is from something that was great, and something that like really meant a lot to me at the time. And I don't have a ton of those, but a lot of them are actually relate back. Even the funky hundo, I know Ashley and I were wearing some off-white sneakers, and it's like in hindsight
we
it's like so
carried
unnecessary. It was awesome.
That's great.
I don't really have a specific memory tied to a shoe. I would say, like, when we worked conventions and stuff, we were always like, what are you wearing or whatever. And then, just making sure it was as comfortable as possible for all day. I did learn, like, going to Disneyland, the key to not killing your feet is to wear 2 pairs of shoes. So, like, when you go back to your hotel or whatever before dinner for a little break, switch your shoes. That makes a huge difference. So that's probably the thing I learned most in 2019.
I have a little interesting story. Well, Joey, if you have something, I'll let you go first. But
No. I was just to say I don't really have one except for the first time I wore the first pair of Jordans I got last school year, and all of a sudden I became like the most popular teacher for the day because I had a pair of Jordans on. But that it only lasted the day, and then it was over with. It's like, oh, somebody said literally the next day, like, "Hey, what happened to the Jordans?" I'm like, "I'm not going to wear them every day," and they're like, "Oh, okay." And then that was it. That was it.
You
You were like
changed.
Dub Jordan guy at first, and
I do
Joey,
wear
the
one
Jordan
pair
guy.
a week now.
there you go.
Nice.
Mine
Keep
was
up
I think
appearances.
sorry. I'll let you go
I'm
ahead,
not
Cam.
done. No, I was done.
Okay. I got a pair of obsidian and neutral gray Air Max. Well, no, I'm sorry, Air Force Ones back in like 2001, and I found out after the fact that they were from Atmos. And some guy saw me wearing them out at the mall. He's like, "Where the hell did you get those?" I'm like, "Well," and I didn't know they were from Atmos. And he's like, "You're fucking stupid for wearing those." And I just felt like a putz.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, but after that, I've had a couple other cool ones. Like I had the Shady Bursts, and those also disintegrated. Same thing. The soles fell apart. So
Dude, that is crazy.
yeah.
That's why I'm always
Yeah.
like, wear your shoes.
Wear your shoes.
No
Yeah.
matter what you do, if you keep them in a chamber, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
They're just gonna fall apart. So wear
Right.
them.
Yeah.
Right.
At least I got some
them,
good use
or,
out of them.
That's a
or
good
if you're
point.
going to sell them, just sell them. Like, make the decision and just do it. Because
Or wear them a
there's
few times and then sell them. Whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
but wear them.
whatever works. Because I follow this writer. His name's Russ Bengston, and he's been around forever. He used to work at Complex, and he posted this great thread that I retweeted the other day, where he's like cleaning out these storage rooms of like all the free sneakers he's received over the years, and all these things that are like exactly what you just talked about, where people are like, "These are my grails. These are worth thousands." And he's like, I forgot that I even had them. He's like, the whole point of having these shoes is so that you wear them, so that you can look back and be like, I wore those for this, special moment or event or time in my life. And like the story that the company's trying to sell you is never going to be as good as you just wearing them and like having things and memories associated with them. And I was like, that's exactly what I've been trying to like kind of get to the conclusion of, because I have all these shoes, and this year especially was like, what are they for? But it really comes down to like, how do you wear them and what do you associate them with? And I think like at the end of the day, a destroyed pair of shoes is worth so much more to you personally than something that you've, maybe forgotten you even have.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Good
So
point.
props for wearing those, man. I think that's cool when people do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if
So
I knew they were from
my
Atmos, I probably
story-
wouldn't have worn them initially, But
Or you would have worn them and like put them back in the box and like
yeah,
take,
but
like it'd be
okay.
different.
But the funny thing is, I still have them. I still wear them
Oh,
from
nice.
time to time. It always reminds me, like, these are from Atmos, and I was freaking wearing them. But they've lasted over 10 years. They actually held up okay. So
There you
I guess
go.
my
Some
money's
last
worth.
better than others. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
So my story, it's a con story. So last San Diego, we went to we're at Comic-Con, and I was like, hey, you know what? These pair of Yeezy 350s look quite comfortable, and I hadn't worn them previously at all. So I'm like, I'm only gonna pack so many pairs of shoes because like I got to make room for collectibles and all this other stuff. So I literally just wore the one pair. First day, like getting to the airport and everything, they're great, they're comfortable. By the end of the second day, my God, my feet hated me. So pro tip, you do never ever want to do 20,000 steps in a pair of Yeezys. It's just not a good idea at all. But it was a great experience. I love the shoes. I wear them like whenever I can now. Like it's like Cam said, it's just they're made for wearing. They're shoes. They go on your feet. They're great to show off and stuff, but wear them. What's the point of not wearing them, right?
I tried for a pair of the breads today and took an L on those on the
On the,
350s.
you say breads as in like eating carbs?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. This
The
is
bread
yes.
easy.
Yes.
I mean, if you want a couple of bread bags, I can give you that. Twist item.
For the non-sneakerheads like Clint, that would be the black and red colorway ones.
Oh, I understand now.
That's when you have to save time. You save
Guy-
time.
Just say
Okay,
bread.
dude,
I
play
can't
it
mess
again.
with Yeezys anymore. I'm so over those.
Yeah.
Eh.
I'm over Kanye, so I wouldn't want a pair of Yeezys, right?
Same. That's the reason. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nate's story about wearing uncomfortable shoes at cons reminds me of setting up. I think it was for NYCC last year in black cement floors and walking back to the booth or walking back to the hotel and being like, "Why did I do that?" Like watching The Last Dance and seeing Jordan lace up a pair of Air Jordan 1s only to have him like his feet all bloody by the end of the game because they're so uncomfortable for him should tell you everything about how different shoes are, because those are shoes made for him and it still didn't work great. So shoes are constantly evolving, but also like try stuff on at stores or whatever and see what actually fits and what you actually like, and then you can really start to understand what you should go after.
I remember when you wore those and I looked and I was like, gosh, those have to be hot.
Oh, they were. and then it like rained super hard for about the last 3 minutes of our walk. And I was like, I just feel like a swamp person.
Swamp foot. Gross.
Yeah.
I guess really quickly, one last thing here. Do you guys have any advice for people that are maybe trying to get into shoes or any interest or just kind of on the fence of like, hey, do I want to get into collecting them or get into trying to see what all the hype is about? Do you guys have any advice for people like that?
Hold on. I need to get a little closer. Go on.
Oh, there we go. I would say for me, like we talked about, sneaker Twitter and what is it, Soul Feed and stuff like that. There's so many different resources on Twitter to help point you in where releases are. And, there's a big community on there. It's mainly just people griping about how they didn't get it, kind of Funko-esque. But that's just part of collecting, part of getting anything like that is, you're going to get some and some you're not. And if you really want something, you're going to have to probably pay more for it. But I would say just talk to people and, read the internet. It has so much information. Like just start reading.
Good advice.
Yes.
What about you, Cam?
Yeah. I mean, I think Ashley's right on the main point, which is just, the internet is an incredible resource if you want to learn about sneakers and the history and the culture, or if you just like the design of how something looks. I think I can't stress enough how much it doesn't have to be a super expensive hobby.
Yeah.
And it can be something where you really start to something that an exercise that I've started to take is as I'm adding a shoe to a cart or trying to hunt it down, do I have a shoe that looks remotely like this? And if the answer is yes, I don't buy it. And it saved me a lot of hassle, to be completely honest. But also following Full Size Run is a great podcast to listen to. It's very conversational. It's 3 hosts and they usually have a guest on, and it ranges from, musicians to actual sneaker designers. And there's a ton of great insight in there. And again, free resource. Follow all of those folks if you can. I recommend sneaker designers especially because they have some great insight into comfort and into if something's actually worth the dollar amount.
Wow.
There's a great designer named Tiffany Beers, and she actually helped make the Nike Air Yeezys and the Nike Adapt technology and the Nike Air Mags. And she was with Nike for a long time and then left. And one of my favorite YouTube videos that she has is a couple of months, I think, after she left, she bought a comparable running shoe from all the top footwear brands and opened them all up and tested them all out. And knowing the material and the technology just kind of went yeah, this is absolutely worth it, and this is not, and here's the scale, and who better to trust than somebody who actually builds shoes versus an influencer. And I guess the last thing I would say is that it's really easy to fall into the hype of sneaker collecting that there's the rarest, coolest, whatever, but if you kind of can find a way to tunnel vision to the actual sneaker or the actual brand or whatever and think is this something I'm ever going to wear? That can help you a lot too. And that's something that's really hard to do. I mean, when the Nike Off-White 10 released on sneakers, I know Ashley and I were sitting next to each other. all day trying to give Nike hundreds of dollars, and afterwards I was like, there's only like one pair I actually really wanted.
Neither of us got any of them either.
No, and we got none. But it was like, I was like
they didn't even
happily
come in
trying
my
to.
size, so I was just trying to
try. Yeah. So
it's a thrill of the hunt.
Yeah.
There's like so many raffles and so many like Instagram challenges and all these things to like get people engaged, and like they're fine, but I think you can find a lot more value in finding folks who like really like look into the history of a shoe or really enjoy a sneaker, and like you might actually find a more worthwhile collecting experience if you find like a general release shoe that you genuinely like and make that your centerpiece and focus, versus like hunting down like the Dior Jordan 1s, which you won't wear. Like, at that point, you're not collecting footwear; you're collecting like grails or streetwear. I don't really know what to call it, but there's value. But I just that's like a line in my opinion.
Yeah, interesting.
Funny you mentioned those Jordan Dior ones. There's a store at the mall close to me, and they have a pair in for sale, and it's like they got it priced at like 18,000, I think is the last time I saw it, and I was like,
and as soon as you put them on, it'll drop. So it's like a car.
Yeah, it is a car.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It was a car.
It was 18,000 Canadian, so it's really just like about 5,000.
Oh, you didn't mention that. Okay, that's
that's like a sorry.
Sorry. One more thing I do want to point out is that like being brand agnostic is valuable too. Nike and Jordan are so popular right now, but I would argue that actually Crocs had a stronger year this year than like Reebok, Adidas, obviously like Fila, things like that. But like there are footwear brands out there that if you can kind of like get past all the folks being like, this is good, this is bad, develop your own taste, you can actually see, there's actually like some pretty smart technology going on, and not always hundreds of dollars. So, I mean, props to you, Clint.
I spend my money on other things. Don't get me wrong. I sell that kind of money everywhere now. It's just like goes to places. My Toms are perfectly comfortable. Whoever made that Tom's joke earlier, yes, I like Toms, so back off.
I does not approve of that statement.
Well, the company lied about what they did for their whole gimmick to begin with, and they're not comfortable. So.
Oh, see, I like mine, but you're not wrong. I should have whipped out my Movember specific shoes and shown those off. I do have a Movember, but that's it. They have mustaches on them. Shock, I know.
That's awesome.
Ashley, I think we've keeping you too long. Do you need a bolt?
Yeah, I got to jump off. I have another Zoom call. But thanks for having me on, guys. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ashley.
Anytime you want to talk sneakers, let me know.
Well, real quick, you want to plug yourself so people can follow you so they can learn more about your sneakers specifically?
I have a sneaker Instagram, but I don't do a whole lot with it anymore. If you want to follow it, it's A and Shoes. I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think there's any numbers on there, but you can just follow my main Instagram and Facebook, and that's usually Twitter, and that's usually where I'll talk about stuff. I know Facebook too.
What are you doing on Facebook?
I'm only on it for my parents, okay? That kind of thing.
Look, these memes aren't going to share themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right? But yeah, so
thanks for hanging out.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Bye, Ash.
See you later.
Thank you.
And guys, keep hanging out. We're not done. We're still going. Little talk, and I know we have a certain time coming up in a little bit too, so I'll let the conversation continue.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's
very good.
I think it is.
I didn't know that anyone wanted.
I think it is that time.
What time is it, Clint?
Wait. What time is it? Let's see.
It's game time.
But before you do the game, you didn't get any bingo.
You're not
today?
Dave Grohl. Just a quick little reminder: you're not Dave Grohl. Yeah,
I was enjoying.
I don't think.
Yeah, he was in the.
I
zone.
hit a single
missed a
bingo
couple.
square.
Well, we're gonna punch out a few of them.
Let's punch out. That boy ain't right. And what else we got? Nate.
Google it.
Nate's
Google
mad at the bell.
Yes.
Yeah, damn you, Bell.
Ryan hasn't made it off.
We're all wearing headwear.
Bad hair.
Oh,
we're all wearing headwear.
All right.
All right. So this week's game is called "It's a Rap" instead of "It's a Trap." So.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, and so in this week's trivia game, you'll be given lyrics from a rap song about shoes.
Okay.
Yep. Cam, do you remember from last time how to buzz in the private chat?
I just typed my name.
Correct. Yes.
Before we get started, it's an honor to be playing trivia with you guys in this way again. I think I've experienced both the high of winning and the low of not getting a single point. So I've already done it all. So I feel like even if I lose, I'm a winner.
The pressure's off. Just enjoy
I
yourself.
love it. I love it.
So
well, you could get negative 8 points though. You got to be careful.
could.
Joey's
Yeah,
gonna
gotta
win.
be
true.
careful.
yeah. And just make sure you don't end up with Ryan points. That would be 0. So you will need to buzz in once you can name either the song or the artist that the lyrics are from. So if you buzz in and have one of those right, you get 5 points.
Okay.
You can then name the other one. So like if you know the artist and the song, then you get 15 points.
Ooh.
Now, if you're wrong on one of them, like you guessed the song title and you're wrong, you lose 5 points and that round's over. Nobody can steal it. If you get the song title, for example, right, and then you guess the artist and you're wrong about that, then it's just a 0 point. It's just a push. Okay. Again, there is no stealing. There's 15 rounds. We will have one final trivia question that you can use to bet your points on. We'll talk more about that, how that's going to work when we get to it. Now, if no one gets the answer after the lyrics, I'll give you the song title. And then if you can buzz in for the artist, I'll get you 5 points for that. So it's kind of like a little extra thing. And instead of me trying to rap, I'm just going to read them as white as possible, try to make it a little bit more entertaining for everybody.
Ubery white is.
I think that's the right approach.
Yes, I think that's the Cam approach. All right, here we go.
Wait, real quick, Cam, just so you know how to ring in, and anybody watching, how we're ringing in is we're typing our names or something randomly into this secret chat we have just for StreamYard, which is where we're broadcasting this. So anybody watching, you won't see it, but it is on the screen. We can see it. And Joey's very fair when doing it.
Yeah, and I'll let you know who buzzes in. So here we go. First one. My Adidas touched the sand of a foreign land with mic in hand. I took cold command. Cam is the first one to buzz in.
So we're doing song title first?
Either or. You can either name that or the rapper first. It doesn't matter.
Because is that My Adidas by Run DMC?
That is correct for 15 points. Good job, sir. You are first on the board. Okay. Next up.
So screwed.
Oh yeah, you're not winning this week, sir.
What? No, there's no Foo Fighters song about phone closets.
There is,
Maybe
but it's
Shock.
weird.
Maybe
No, it's not a rap song.
Next one. I thought Jordans and a gold chain was living it up. Ooh, we may have stumped some of our local rap fans here. All right, so what I'll do now is I'm going to give you the song title and see if you can guess the rapper for 5 points. The song title is Street Dreams. Nate?
Nas.
Nas is correct. Very good, sir.
Nasir.
You're now on the board.
Those lyrics on their
Ryan
own,
is getting so close,
Yeah,
guys, that are
with
listening
no context
and watching.
with those
Yeah.
lyrics.
with no context, those
you're-
lyrics could actually apply to like thousands of artists.
Yeah.
And the way you're
Actually,
reading
Fleetwood
it in your whitest voice possible is not helping.
All right.
Well,
That was
I
James
thought
Taylor, guys. Come on now.
Here we go. Number 3. In LA, we wearing Chucks, not Bally's. Nate,
California Love
correct?
and Dre and Tupac.
Yes, sir. Very good.
nice.
Yeah.
Nate has slid into the lead now. Maybe temporarily. We'll see. Next one.
Knows how to party. I gotta contribute somehow.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Can that be for a point?
Yeah.
You're gonna take points away from
Any
you for
point?
singing.
Just singing for points over there.
My man is singing for points. Next set of lyrics. More Adidas sneakers than a plumber's got pliers. Ooh,
Nose as long as telephone wires. I don't know.
got another one stumped. Okay. The song title is Shadrach. Cam.
Is that Beastie Boys?
That is Beastie Boys. Good job,
Oh,
Cam.
Nice.
You and Nate are now tied up.
Now I
And
can
Ryan's picking himself.
just hear them all yelling that lyric at the same time.
Right.
What was that song called again, Joey?
I may have pronounced it wrong, but is it Shadrach? I think is how it's pronounced.
Okay, I believe you. I was curious because I should have. I feel like I could have gotten that one. Could have.
Why were you the fourth Beastie Boy?
More like the ninth. I'm way down there.
Way down the line.
Actually, you would be the fifth after Mixmaster Mike, technically.
All right. Well,
Doesn't
still
really-
ninth. They have 3 empty spots.
Actually, that's funny. I'm gonna write that down. The ninth Beastie Boy.
That's awesome.
Next lyric. A pair of bright, fat yellow Air Max. Hit the racks. Stack 'em up. Son, $20 off, no tax.
Damn, that sounds like an ad.
Spoken like a marketing person.
I feel like-
Promoted ads.
Do you lose points, Joey, if we get it wrong?
Yeah, -5.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'll wait.
Yes.
I have a feeling, but I don't want to. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to name the song title for y'all now. It is Apollo Kids.
Oh.
Oh, nope.
Yeah, I
I guess
would've gotten
Nate
that
didn't
wrong.
know it.
No, I did not know it.
Okay.
Is it Macklemore?
No. would be Ghostface Killer
Oh.
from Wu-Tang.
What?
I hear they're nothing to mess with.
They're not.
Wu-Tang
For the
Financial.
children.
Wu-Tang Financial.
Diversify your bonds, bitch.
Those lyrics were not luxurious enough to be Ghostface Killer.
No, absolutely not.
All right, here's the next one. I sport New Balance sneakers to avoid a narrow path. Oh.
How wholesome.
I was gonna say is this something-
That
is
might
this
be
ad real
Macklemore.
That actually might be Macklemore. That's that wholesome.
All right, the song title for that one is Buggin' Out. Cam.
Is it a Tribe Called Quest?
Okay, so I'm gonna have to double check myself here because now that I'm looking at the artist name that I wrote down.
Is it Fife or is
Fife
it?
Dog.
Yeah,
Yes.
give it to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, the specific A Tribe Called Quest member. Dang.
That's probably my fault. The way I was researching
Oh, no,
it,
that's-
I should have stuck with the whole thing instead of just an individual member. I tried to do
No,
that and I forgot one.
Oh, good. It works.
Yo, I'm
I mean,
point five.
he's the funky diabetic.
Indeed, he is.
He
All
would
right,
wear
cool.
New Balance.
Next one. I ain't trying to stunt, man, but the Yeezys jumped over the jump man. Is that Cam again?
Yes, it is.
All right, Cam.
Is that former U.S. presidential nominee Kanye West?
It is. Do you know the name of the song for 15 points?
No, I'm
Okay.
gonna stay there.
Yeah, there's no stealing of this, but does anybody know what the name of the song is?
Nope.
Cam, you did get 5 points.
Please,
Name
Hammer,
of the-
don't hurt him.
Nope. Name of the song is New God Flow.
Oh, there we go.
That's what it was.
Duh.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yep. All right, here we go. Round 8. I need 2 pairs so I can get to stomping. Oh, Ryan got one. He better not
Ryan's
roll
got
my
this
better
son
get
there,
this
Ryan.
one. It's Nelly Air Force Ones.
You better know this. There you
Yes,
go.
he can win to say it real quick too. Nelly, Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure he didn't get
Yeah.
his points taken from him. Very good. Ryan's on the board now.
Nicely done, Ryan.
Your internet just cuts out.
Cam's got 30. Nate's got 20. Ryan's got 15. And Clint has Ryan points because we haven't had any about Toms or Airwalks yet. But I have a feeling one might be coming.
British
Not
Knights.
really.
British
Ooh.
Knights.
Not really.
Right.
All right. Here we go. Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. Oh, how are you the last one to buy?
It lagged out on me.
Buzzed in before you. Clint
You
buzzed
shut
in
your
for
mouth,
you.
mate. It
Internet
did not
lagged
lag
out on
out.
me.
It did
Man.
not
It
lag
did.
out.
All right,
It
go ahead,
definitely
Ryan.
lagged out on me.
Notorious B.I.G. Hypnotize.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
correct. Very good.
Dang,
I know. Ryan is now tied with Cam for the
that
lead.
happened fast.
It did. It did, man.
Well, he's
Life
picking the
comes at
right
you like
parts
that.
of the lyrics. That's why too.
Mhm.
I'm actually
Right?
really
I
liking
need
how
two
close
per.
this is.
I mean, it's like the most notorious line in the song. And hymns to my hooligans in Brooklyn. I think that's one of the most notorious lines in that track too.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Here we go. Round 10. Gucci Chuck Taylor with the dragon on the side. Ooh.
How many
we got
questions
another
are there total?
stumper.
15.
I know
15.
this song, but I just can't. Oh my god, I know these lyrics.
Okay, well, here comes the hint with the song title. Grindin'.
Ah.
Cam's buzzed in.
Clips. Is it specifically Pusha T?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Specifically.
Wait, there's a rap group called Clips.
Yeah, the
There
clips.
is.
I might as well just leave.
Pusha T and his brother Malice.
Yeah, Malice.
Who is now no Malice
Yeah,
because
who
he's
is,
found God.
Yeah.
So he's like Mace from the 90s. Got it.
Yep.
Basically.
You got it?
That's
You
Reverend
understand
Mace to
hip hop music.
I didn't say that.
Well, he did mention MC Hammer too, right?
Yep.
If calling MC Hammer like rap is kind of offensive. Like you should get kicked for that.
Kicked. All right, here we go. Next one.
Maybe you should get clipped for that.
And just for kicks, make them gel like Asics.
I know this line. What?
Okay, here we come with the song title, Saliva.
Oh no, it's not the song I'm thinking of.
This one stumped everybody. Nobody knew this
Yeah.
one. Okay,
No.
that's going to be Victor Vaughn.
I have no idea who that is.
Oh man. Well, shame on you.
That's
You need to go.
Must be a deep cut.
It's a real deep cut. I had to throw in some difficult ones there for y'all. All right, here we go. Next one. On D Block, where everybody wants to be Pac, and you get popped over the new G Unit Reebok. Cam.
It has to be 50 Cent. Is it not?
It is not.
Okay.
It's not Curtis.
Okay, so that's a -5, but since Cam answered wrong, that one is able to be stolen. Is anybody going to try to jump in?
I'm not confident, so no.
Yeah, I'm not confident either.
Yeah, it was actually Eminem. Welcome to D Block.
It was, well, there you go. Welcome to D Block. You know, I figured one of them would be promoting the G Unit Reebok. Otherwise, you'd have to go to the G Unit members. Like, and I haven't listened to enough Lloyd Banks to really know.
I had a pair of G Unit Reeboks.
Did you really?
I did. I wore the hell out of them. They were very great. And I wish I still had them, but they're tattered and destroyed.
Okay, we're getting close to the end here.
What number is this?
Round number 13.
Ooh.
Okay. Not that it matters.
Now's the time, Clint.
Right. As I said, I'm going to pull a trigger here.
And just
Use
for
the
those
NOS.
keeping score at home, we still have a tie now between Cam and Ryan with 30, Nate with 20, and Clint once again with the goose egg. Number 13, my Timbs start feeling like they Nike Airs on me. Nobody's buzzing in. Let's go to the song title, Run.
It's so general.
I know it is a
So that's
very.
it? It's just
There's a
Run?
Foo Fighters song named
Yeah.
Run, by the way, but I know that's not it.
I think it was.
Song called Run.
I'm trying to make heads or tails out of my own notes here. I think it was Jada Kiss featuring Ghostface, or maybe the other way
Oh, okay.
around. All right, round number
Alright.
14. Walking in the clouds, suspended in thin air, the ones beneath me recognize the red bottoms I wear.
I hate this game.
Feels
The
One of
song
two
title.
people.
Song title is I'm on One.
Oh,
I'll
wait.
let you know I do have two people written down because of the song. So if you get one of them, you're fine.
No, I'm not confident.
Ooh,
let's do it. We're here.
Cam,
Is this a DJ Khaled song?
It is Rick Ross, DJ Khaled,
there it
and
is.
then the
Okay.
two I would accept
There you
it.
go.
Wow.
So Cam takes a slight lead
Oh, that's
now
right,
with
yeah.
35 points. We've got one more rap lyric, and then we have our trivia question. Okay, so here's the last one.
Time to step up, Clint. Come on.
Right?
Yep, you got to get both on this one.
Oh, even better.
You done switched from Nike to Reebok, huh?
Oh, I feel like I know this because
Mm-hmm.
There's two of them on this one.
Well, the song and the rapper, so you could get 15
Oh.
points if you knew both. Okay, here comes the song title.
Wait, I wrong in.
Oh, Clint. Okay.
No, that's what this try. Is it Nelly?
Nope, that's a -5. So you now have -8 points of 5.
Hey, you had to try.
I have to try at least once, right?
Y'all can steal once I name the song title. Ha!
Oh, now you tell me.
yeah,
Nate,
it's Juvenile.
it is Juvenile.
I
Okay.
should have went for it because it's that last bit on that lyric when you went, huh? I was like,
Huh?
yeah.
All right. So heading into our final question, this is where we rank. Clint, I'm going to give you a pity 6 points so you can get back up to 1 point so you can participate with us.
Hey.
So you can bet 1
Hey.
point.
I'm
Yeah.
wagering everything. I'm all in.
You never, hey, look, honestly, though, you never know what's going to happen because the other three could end up defeating each other. So here's what we'll do.
I'm still all in.
That's the strategy.
I'll
That's
give
right.
y'all about 10 seconds to decide what you want to wager. Cam, you have 35. Nate, you have 25. Ryan, you have 30. I'll give you 10 seconds. I'll say go. You'll hit enter with your score, so there's no cheating. Like, oh, Cam entered this many, so I'm going to just enter this, okay? And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. Wagers are Nate is wagering 20 points. Ryan is wagering 20 points. Cam is just going to wager 5 points.
Cam wants
and
to dub
Clint
this time.
wagered all one of his points that he
I'm
got.
all in.
Okay, so here's how it'll work. I'm going to give you your final trivia question. We're going to hit enter at the same time again, but our resident songbird, Clint, so he can feel like he's participating more in this trivia game, will hum the Jeopardy theme for us as y'all try to decide the answer. Okay, is everybody ready? I'll take that as a yes. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Your
Yes.
final trivia question. What was the first Air Jordan designed by Tinker Hatfield? And music, Clint.
Do 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 do. Are you guys all done?
It goes a lot
In
longer than that.
How about we go in 3, 2, 1, enter. Okay, and the answers have come rolling in. Cam guessed the Air Jordan 1, which is incorrect and brings him down to 30 points for a final. Nate guessed the Air Jordan 6, which is incorrect and brings him down to 5 points. Clint doesn't even know what he's doing. He said 2010.
I would have guessed 1 though, so I would have got it wrong. Anyway,
So Clint goes back down to 0 points.
better than negative 8.
And Ryan guesses the Jordan 4 and is incorrect because it's actually the Jordan
The 2?
3. The Jordan 3 was the first Tinker Hatfield designed Air Jordan.
You
So our
spoke
winner
about this
this
recently.
week
I remember. Right?
is Cam with 30
Woo!
points. Congratulations, sir. You
Thank
win
you.
my admiration. That's what you win.
That means
Yay.
everything.
Oh, man. That means everything to me that it means
Awesome.
everything to you.
Awesome.
That's
Even
great.
as somebody who couldn't really play that game, I actually really appreciated it, Joey. That was fun. It was actually
fun.
very close too. That was good on
Yes,
you guys.
it was. Worked out very well.
Just to watch.
That was awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you, Joey, as always, for the ridiculously fun game. Cam, thank you so much for taking time out today, and as Ashley as well, who had to leave. But we appreciate you guys carving some time out and chatting sneakers with us and being on the podcast. The third time you've been on the show, which has been amazing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. This has been a blast.
Yeah.
Don't consider it the last, sir. I'll find something else here, but maybe we'll talk parenthood at some point.
Yeah.
We'll have a podcast about that.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Cam, you want to let everyone know where they can find you on Twitter and Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, so you can find me. My handle is just my first and last name, so Cameron Duell on Twitter and on Instagram. I do a monthly music newsletter, which I was not able to get to last month because moving with a newborn during a pandemic was enough of a project. But I do have some fun.
Excuse.
I have some fun year-end stuff coming, so that link is in my Twitter bio. But it's just rations.substack.com. You can just go there and check out what I've done already. And then on Instagram, lately for the past couple of months, I've been doing a weekly sneak of the week, just kind of as a fun way to recap some things that have come out that maybe people have forgotten about. So I pick one, not like super crazy. It's not sponsored. It's just something that's kind of a cool way to highlight something different. And otherwise, yeah, you can just come find me. I'm usually tweeting about Pokemon or Star Wars or, newly being a dad. So yeah, lots of fun stuff.
If you find any new pretzel related snacks or any good pretzels, please make sure to tag him. He loves pretzels.
Please. Yeah, my goal, I've done a couple of test runs, but I'll be sharing more of them as I do it to encourage others to do the same. But my goal in 2021 is to perfect the soft pretzel. I've done a couple of recipes so far.
Nice.
First one was like awful, but it's getting better. And you got to pass the time somehow. So
yeah, exactly.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Thank you everyone for joining us this week as well for a very special live podcast. We might be hanging out a little bit on Twitch after just to kind of catch up, and if anyone wants to hang around, feel free to. This episode will be live tomorrow in case you want to listen to it again. Monday.
We're not Sunday. Yep.
Monday. So it'll be live on Monday in case you want to listen again and try to catch all those amazing rap lyrics that Joey was reading, which was perfectly done. Yes. So yeah, just for this week, make sure you're following us on Twitch. Following us on Twitter and Instagram at _Dorksman. Ryan will probably be streaming. Yes, probably Twitch too. Ryan will be streaming. Was it Monday, Tuesday, Saturday to work?
Monday, Thursday, Saturday,
Thursday.
Usually. But
Monday,
Thursday
Thursday,
didn't happen this week. Today is not happening. Actually, I might stream later today, depending. We'll see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Clint will be there on Tuesdays doing the Nintendo Switch business as he does. Probably with Sully. They'll probably be playing some Splatoon or Mario Kart. So feel free to add Clint as a friend.
Smash Brothers.
Ooh,
Smash Bros.
So Cam, come play if you want.
Don't tempt me. that sounds like fun. Yeah, I might actually.
You're always welcome.
Message you about that. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Come hang out. Everyone, coming out.
Yeah, everyone.
Out of each other.
It'll be good. It'll be a good time. And as always, Dorksman Game Night Friday nights. Feel free to jump on 7 p.m. hosted by Ryan, who does a great job. So thank you, Ryan, for continually taking your time out and hosting that for us and keeping the Jackbox games rolling. We have a good time every Friday night.
Thanks also to the community. You know, it wouldn't have game night if it weren't for the people that actually come out week after week and participate in the game. So real quickly, just a couple of people that come to mind for me. Shout out to like Bizarro John is always there. Shout out
kicking
to
our ass.
Yeah, really,
winning every
week. He wins at least 1 or 2 games every week. Shouts out also to Mandy and to Ben. And to who else has always been in there recently?
Well, to Bummed Manny, who I hope isn't bummed anymore.
Yeah, Manny, Bentley,
Andrew, and Jedi.
They're always there to hang out. So really, thank you guys, because game night is for you folks and anybody else that comes to join. If you guys want to participate, jackbox.tv, write it down. Make sure that you log in with your Twitch credentials and join us.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and then it's every Friday, so don't feel like you have to come every once, and then you have to come every time when you can. When you have time. I mean, I get up and down all the time because I have to go put somebody back in bed since somebody doesn't want to go to sleep. It's my wife, not my daughter. But anyway, so it's totally low key. It's totally relaxed. We just have a really good time and laugh hysterically about really stupid stuff, especially towards the end of the week.
It's true. It's a nice way to unwind.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything before we wrap up the recording for this week?
No, sir.
No. All right. Well, thank you again, Cam. We really appreciate it. We'll definitely have you on again. But with that, that's my secret. I'm always angry.
Sneakers gave me an L, and I took that personally.
Word always.
Please, no gang signs.
Keep popping, baby.